This ain't just some warm-up fight. It's a career-defining moment. Erickson Lubin versus Ardreal Holmes Jr. is an official IBF title eliminator, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The winner becomes the mandatory challenger for the IBF belt at 154 pounds, currently held by Bakram Murtalaviev, in a division that's deep, dangerous, and constantly reshuffling. Jumping to the front of the line is everything. This fight, it's the golden ticket. A win doesn't just move a fighter closer to a title, it rewrites their story. It puts them in conversation with the big names, the belt holders, the guys chasing legacy. And whoever comes out on top won't just be next, they'll be unavoidable. Let's get into the details. Erickson the Hammer Lubin came into the game with all the hype. Back in 2016, he was crowned ESPN's Prospect of the Year. By 22, he'd already earned a title shot against Jermell Charlo. But boxing doesn't care about your script. Lubin got caught clean and stopped in the first round. A brutal, humbling loss that had fans and critics alike questioning if the kid was all promise and no delivery. But here's the thing, Lubin didn't fold. He didn't fade into the background. He rebuilt, fought his way back, took tough fights, went through fire. That 2022 war with Sebastian Fondora? Man, that was a modern-day classic. Lubin came out of that one bloodied, bruised, with a broken nose and a separated shoulder. But his stock went up because he showed heart most fighters only dream about. Then came the Ramos fight, Jesus Ramos Jr. Young, unbeaten, slick, and Lubin went in there and boxed him up. Pure veteran IQ. That win was the exclamation mark that said, "I'm still here, and I want the crown." Now once again, Lubin's standing at the edge of history. One more win, and the redemption story gets its final chapter, a title shot earned the hard way. Now, Ardreal Holmes is a name you probably haven't heard enough, but you will if he pulls this off. Undefeated at 17-0, Holmes has been doing his thing quietly, stacking wins and flying under the radar. But all that changes with this fight. This is his moment to break out, shake the table, and let the world know he's not just a prospect, he's a problem. Holmes isn't flashy. He's not trying to be viral. What he is? Smart, disciplined, a pure technician in the ring. He's got the height advantage, 3 inches on Lubin, and the longer reach. He controls range like a seasoned vet. And that jab, it's like a measuring stick and a spear at the same time. This fight is his chance to flip the narrative. A win over Lubin? That's not just a dub, that's a career accelerator. That's his name suddenly next to the belts. Holmes knows what's at stake. He didn't come this far to play backup. This one's got that old school feel to it. The puncher versus the boxer. The guy trying to end your night with one shot versus the guy who's going to paint the canvas with jabs and angles. Lubin's got that smoke. A 69% knockout rate says it all. When he touches you clean, the night can end real quick. That left hand, it's a wrecking ball. He fights like he's got somewhere to be, and he's trying to get you out of the way to get there. Holmes, he's the chess player, only a 35% KO rate. But don't let the numbers fool you. He's dangerous in a different way. He frustrates you, makes you miss, eats the clock, steals rounds. His length, his control of distance, his timing. It's death by 1,000 cuts if you let him get comfortable. This one is a classic question. Can the boxer box clean for 12 rounds? Or will the puncher find his moment and close the show? Now here's something you don't see every day. 2 elite southpaws squaring up. Most of the time a southpaw gets the upper hand by just being tricky for orthodox fighters. But not this time. This is mirror mode, foot positioning, angles, timing. It all gets weirder when both fighters are used to having that awkward edge. Don't be surprised if the first few rounds are cagey, even clunky. But once one of them cracks the code, it could turn into a chess match with fireworks. Whoever adapts faster might just take control of the whole fight. Now this is where things get interesting. Holmes has been staying busy. 5 fights in 2 years. That means sharp timing, fresh legs, and comfort under the lights. Lubin, on the other hand, hasn't fought since his Ramo win in September 2023. That's a long layoff, especially when you're walking into a high-stakes fight like this. Will Lubin be rusty or rested? That's the question. He's been here before, big fights, bright lights, pressure-packed moments. Holmes hasn't, but Holmes has rhythm on his side. It's a toss-up, the polished activity of Holmes versus the battle-tested calm of Lubin. The 154-pound division is one of the most dangerous in the game. It's deep, it's talented, and right now, it's wide open with belts moving, names shifting, and new contenders stepping up. This fight matters in a big way. The winner becomes the IBF mandatory. That's a guaranteed title shot. And with the right performance, there could be unifications on the table. It could be a fast track to superstardom. This isn't about who wins Saturday night. It's about who steps up and grabs the spotlight in a division looking for its next face. These two haven't exactly been quiet. The build-ups had some real heat. At a recent public workout, they almost came to blows. Words were flying, tempers boiling, and the tension was real. Holmes has been chirping too, bringing up their amateur history, reminding folks that Lubin beat him in his last amateur fight. He's leaning into that underdog energy, talking like he's got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Lubin, he's been here before, but you can tell this one's personal. And with the hometown crowd in Kissimmee riding with him, the energy will be electric. The pressure's on, and both of them know it. Lubin's been through the fire, from can't-miss prospect to viral knockout victim. To grizzled vet climbing back, he could have disappeared. A lot of guys do. But he kept fighting, kept growing, took on dogs like Fundora and Ramos, didn't duck a soul. This is his third act, and maybe his best shot at finally proving he belongs at the top of the mountain. Holmes? His journey's quieter. He didn't get the hype, didn't get the push, but he stayed the course, took the long road, fought on small cards, fought out of town, fought to be seen. Now he's on the cusp. One win, and he goes from overlooked to undeniable. This matchup is tailor-made for drama. Lubin's the hunter, walking you down, trying to unleash that left hand. Holmes is the sniper, picking his spots, setting traps, keeping the fight right where he wants it. They're both southpaws, which adds another layer. Footwork, angles, timing, it all matters more. One slip, one misbeat, and someone's getting caught. Lubin's got the experience, Holmes has the activity. If Lubin can close the distance and rough Holmes up, it could be a long night for the Michigan man. But if Holmes can stick and move, jab and grab, and keep Lubin guessing, it might be a tactical masterclass. Now for the intangibles. Lubin's got the home crowd. That's love. That's fuel. But it can also be pressure. Holmes? He's walking into enemy territory, and sometimes that brings out the dog in a fighter. Silence the crowd, and you take the soul out the building. And both of these guys have been through it. Lubin with the high-profile scars, Holmes with the grind from the mud. That kind of resilience doesn't show up on a stat sheet, but it's the kind of thing that wins you fights when it gets gritty. So what's at stake? Legacy, respect, and a shot at the crown. Lubin's fighting to complete his comeback story, to say, yeah, I took a loss, but I came back stronger. Holmes is fighting for his name to matter, for the respect, for the shot he's worked his whole life for. The winner walks away one fight from a world title. The loser, they've got to climb the mountain all over again. Lubin's got the story, the scars, and the smoke. Holmes has the skills, the size, and the swag of an undefeated fighter who knows he belongs. One of these men is walking out with everything they came for. The other's walking out with questions. Will Lubin's power and experience shine? Or will Holmes stay cool under fire, frustrate the vet, and flip the division upside down? Either way, this fight matters. Because in a division that's dangerous, the margin for error is razor thin. One round, one punch, one moment. That's all it takes to go from contender to king. If you've enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the Knockout Nest for more boxing content. We'll see you again when the dust settles on the canvas.